Discuss the season, recap the last game, and preview upcoming games. Catch the live show at 8 on Saturday morning on News Talk 1250 KBRF and the live stream and archived shows at KBRFradio.com. Just click on Sports Streaming, the Coaches Show, presented by the Viking Cafe.
It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF, brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, here's Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop.
There we go. Good Monday morning. It is 10 after 9, and Mary, next Monday it'll be interesting. You'll be back on with Greg Brady.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, where are you?
We're going to be down in the cities with a symposium or something like that.
Oh, okay. You're not leaving me for good.
No.
Okay, good.
But Tuesday we'll have a best of morning talk.
Oh, okay.
So we'll record one of the morning talks this week.
Okay.
And we'll play the best.
We'll make it the best of.
The best of.
Okay. All right. So Brady on with me tomorrow morning.
Monday morning.
Or Monday morning. Okay. All right. Whatever. That'll be so a week from today you're talking.
A week from today, yeah.
Okay. All right, gotcha.
So if you're into the video stream, there's going to be a couple days next week without the video stream.
Okay. Well, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
Then I can just get up and roll out of bed and come in here. No. Oh boy. Well, it is a Monday. Hopefully everyone enjoyed their weekend. As always, the weekends fly. Guess what I did all weekend, or most of it? Canned tomatoes.
Oh.
Yeah, I have put up 28 quarts of stewed tomatoes. Yesterday I did 20 pints of salsa. Gotta say, it turned out pretty darn good.
Oh.
Yeah, when you make salsa and you throw in the jalapenos, you never know what it's gonna do.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want it to have some zing. I want it to have a little pop.
You don't want it to be over zing.
Yeah, and I want a little heat, but I want it to be kind of middle of the road so that everybody likes it, Now,
what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to bring in some of that said
okay,
salsa,
well,
because we can show your salsa on the TV.
Oh, we could, yes. Yeah, and then we can even dump it in a bowl and do some taste testing.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. Personally, I could stand a little more heat.
Okay.
But a lot of people in my family don't love too much heat, and then others really like it. But you never know what to do. So what I do is I cut the jalapeno in half, and I dig out part of what's inside.
Oh, yep.
And I leave.
Because that's where a lot of the capsaicin is.
Yep. But I leave seeds in each half.
Okay.
Always, and then I cut it up and put it in a chopper and chop it up. But I think I use I think it calls for 3 to 6 jalapenos, and I think I used 8.
Nice.
So, but I maybe took out maybe a few too many of the seeds. I don't know. I think it's really good. I could stand it hotter, but a lot of people don't like it hotter. So I think it's going to be perfect for our family.
I was in a Mexican restaurant last night. And it's one of the big chain ones up in Fargo. And it had carrots and celery in their salsa.
Okay, I have had a friend of mine makes her salsa with carrots and celery. What'd you think?
I thought it was interesting. It threw me for a little bit of a loop.
Yeah, it's good though.
Yeah.
And the carrots bring a sweetness to it that I kind of like. The recipe that I use actually has brown sugar in it, so mine does have a sweet taste to it, which I really, really like. So it's the sweet and the heat come together, and I think that's, I don't know, just personal taste, but I really like it. So I just keep using this same recipe over and over.
But everybody in my family was confused. We're all looking at this going, is that a carrot? I think that's a carrot.
Yep.
That could be a carrot.
I have had it with carrots and celery, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't make it like that because a lot of what I can in terms of salsa, I use as gifts.
Yeah.
People love to get home canned salsa. And so I give a lot of it away, so I try to make it kind of
neutral,
not too weird and middle of the road heat and that sort of thing. But anyway, so got that done over the weekend, and I think the tomatoes are pretty much done. Now I'm trying something new this year. All I've got left is I've got enough tomatoes for another batch of salsa, but I froze these. Now I've never done this before, but we've got some friends who actually gave me the salsa recipe, which I love. Anyway, they can like crazy, and they always freeze their tomatoes, and then they take them out and they put them in cold or in water, and then just like if you were to, what do you call it, blanch the tomatoes, how the skins crack and the peeling comes off, and they say that that's what happens when you take them out of the freezer, you put them in water, they begin to crack just like they do in the boiling water. And the skins peel off very easily, and then you chop them and off you go. So I don't know, I've never tried this before, but I'm gonna give it a spin this year. So I've got one more batch of tomatoes that are frozen, and just, the beauty of that is if it works, then you can take them out of the freezer anytime, and you can be making salsa in December if you want. Otherwise, when the tomatoes are ready, it's go time, and you gotta do tomatoes and tomatoes and more tomatoes. And I kind of feel like that's where I am today, is like, wow, holy tomatoes, I'm done. So, but the tomato plants are pretty much saying, okay, we've given you enough this year, and so we're quitting. And so am I.
They're quitters.
So I'll have enough for another probably 20 to 24 jars of salsa, and then that will be the end. So I'll let you know how this frozen tomato thing goes.
What you should do is bring in one batch of frozen and one batch of regular.
I absolutely will do that.
And we can side by side them.
The thing that concerns me, and if anybody listening has done this and knows, has some experience with this, I tried it. I froze a couple of tomatoes, and then I put them in water, and they do peel very easily. But my beef with it was they take forever to thaw. So now I've been told leave them in the water a little bit longer and they will begin to thaw, and then use like a big butcher knife and just really work at cutting them, and they go right ahead and process them right from there. My concern is that anytime you freeze something, you get more moisture, and I don't like thin salsa.
We'll just boil it a little longer.
Yeah, but you can boil the bejeebers out of that stuff, and it doesn't get thick.
Oh, back when my mom made salsa, that's what she did.
Really?
She
like
did
for hours?
Hours.
Yeah.
I mean, but
I don't have that kind of patience.
One batch of salsa would be in there for 6 to 8 hours, just simmering.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. So that's the part that concerns me. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop the frozen tomatoes, and then I am going to just leave them for a bit till they thaw. And then I always drain my tomatoes before I cook them.
Yeah, otherwise it's going to take forever.
Right. And so, I don't know. Well, I'm going to give it a spin. But what I thought over the weekend was, as I was blanching a few tomatoes, it really isn't very hard, and it goes fast. And I think, I don't know if I'm saving any time by freezing them, and I'm just using freezer space. So I don't know if it's a good idea or not. But I thought I would try it with, one batch to see what happens. But we'll do a comparison one day. How does that sound?
That sounds like a great idea.
Okay. All right. Over the weekend, of course, we know now that the man that is accused of killing Charlie Kirk is in jail. He is refusing, however, to cooperate with the investigators. He's saying nothing. His name is Tyler Robinson. He's 22. He was arrested on Friday after, this would be hard, a relative recognized him on TV. And he turned his own son in, which would be difficult. But anyway, they told ABC News that Robinson had not confessed, though his family and friends have been assisting with the authorities. They did find a lot of information via this young man's roommate, and who seems to be a romantic partner. He is a male that is currently transitioning to become a woman, but he has been very forthcoming about texts and that sort of thing. And I think it seems like it's a pretty open and shut case here. Again, they're expecting that he will likely be charged either today or tomorrow. So, but that would be a difficult position to be in. You always want to protect your kids, but do you protect your kids in a situation like this?
No, I'd be turning my kid in.
I think I would. I
mean, especially with all that, video evidence and all the photos. I mean, they're gonna find your son.
Right.
One of your buddies are like, "Hey, isn't that Ted's kid?"
Yeah, exactly. And anyway, it will be interesting to see where this goes. But the interesting part to me is, remember we talked last week about we were hopeful that there wouldn't be any terrible fallout. Now there has been some in terms of ideology coming forth, and people from certain people from the left almost celebrating and saying that this was his fault and whatever terrible things, but sort of expected that. But we didn't see. Here's the interesting thing: nobody from the conservative movement was out there burning cars and trashing cities and
there's no rioting.
Things like could have happened had this been somebody from the left. That's what we usually see. And I'm so grateful that the conservatives just held vigils and across the country, around the world. It was amazing, the outpouring. Just remembering Charlie Kirk in all kinds of ways and all around the world. So pretty interesting. And I was super proud of Minnesota Vikings. They're going to actually, at US Bank Stadium, is going to hold a vigil this coming Sunday.
Oh.
So I think that's admirable and surprising in the state of Minnesota. But I'm very glad that they're doing that. So way to go, Vikes. Not so much way to go, Vikes, last night, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of a trouncing. I didn't watch the game. So.
It was a trouncing.
So one touchdown, right? Everything else was.
I don't even know if they got a touchdown. I didn't watch all of it.
Not the Vikings didn't, but I think in the game there was one touchdown. Everything else was
field goals.
Yeah, field goals. So I don't know that I read quickly over a story this morning. I don't know too much, and I didn't watch the game.
I can tell you that the Packers won last Thursday night, and they're now 2-0.
Okay, way to go, Pack. All right. Let's see what else we've got for you today. A Delta Airlines flight made an emergency landing at Miami International Airport. This was Saturday after a bird strike. Officials say Flight 1300 had just departed for Boston Logan International Airport when the bird hit one of two engines. The aircraft returned safely to Miami. No injuries were reported. The FAA reports wildlife strikes are rising nationwide. Let's see. North Korea executes citizens for watching foreign films and TV shows. A United Nations Human Rights Office reported, and that was released on Friday. The report documents increased government control over all aspects of citizens' lives. Gee, that'd be a fun place to live, huh? And widespread forced labor. No other population is under such restrictions in today's world, and this comes from the UN report. Former President Trump on Saturday urged NATO nations to adopt new sanctions against Russia to help end the war in Ukraine. He said this: "I am ready to do major sanctions on Russia when all NATO nations have agreed and started to do the same thing, and when all NATO nations stop buying oil from Russia." And you can't wish for this conflict to end when you continue to buy oil from them and support the conflict. So that's what President Trump is saying. Quit it. Just stop buying Russian oil. That would help. Fox News host Brian Kilmeade had to apologize on Sunday after suggesting last week This sounds terrible. That homeless people with mental illness should be executed.
Whoa.
I mean, these guys know that everything they say on air is going to be thrown back at them. And it's a terrible thing to say, period.
It's an awful thing to say.
He admitted his comments were extremely callous and said, I wrongly said that they should get lethal injections. Wow. He went on to say, I apologize, but I think that might come back to get him here for a bit yet. But again, those are the kind of things that either side should not be saying, especially when so many people are following and hearing that kind of rhetoric. It's just awful. And 14 workers at Montana's Yellowstone Valley Animal Shelter were hospitalized on Wednesday after FBI agents burned 2 pounds of seized methamphetamine using the facility's incinerator in Billings. Staff and 75 cats and dogs were evacuated when smoke filled the building due to negative pressure pushing fumes in the wrong direction.
Oh.
Yikes. All 14 employees spent 3 hours in hyperbaric oxygen chambers, treating smoke inhalation after some were exposed for over an hour. An FBI spokesperson confirmed the agency routinely uses outside facilities for controlled drug burns. Building decontamination will take 2 weeks to a month. Boy, that's a pretty serious mistake.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, more when we come back on a Monday on Morning Talk. We'll break for some markets, and we're back next.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
KBRF presents Where to Eat, the culinary adventure, sponsored by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food in Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Zach Daniels.
And I'm Dave Bishop, your guide to the region's culinary treasures.
Join us as we explore various restaurants, uncover delicious meals, and highlight each restaurant's signature dish.
Experience diverse cuisine types, unique atmospheres, and must-try dishes. Check it out on KBRFradio.com and the Fergus Now app.
New episodes air every first Friday of the month. Where to Eat, powered by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food of Fergus Falls.
This is Craig Olson. Join me every Saturday morning at 8 for the Coaches Show, presented by the Viking Cafe on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Football, basketball, soccer, hockey, volleyball, swimming, cross country. I interview area coaches to discuss the season, recap the last game, and preview upcoming games. Catch the live show at 8 on Saturday morning on News Talk 1250 KBRF and the live stream and archived shows at KBRFradio.com. Just click on Sports Streaming. The Coaches Show, presented by the Viking Cafe.
They don't pay me enough to do this, but here we go. How does the sun listen to its favorite music? On the radio. Yeah, I kind of like that one. Catching some raise and some savings this summer by shopping FergusFallsDeals.com, where you will save up to 40% on certificates to places you're probably already shopping at. Be sure to shop the Deals on Demand category to see all the certificates you can get right on your phone. Give your bank account that radiant glow it's looking for and shop all the hot deals at FergusFallsDeals.com.
Community is important, and you'll find it at Pioneer Point. Spacious apartments, thoughtfully designed for older adults, provide the best in senior living. Heated parking and elevator access makes life easy. Your neighbors at Pioneer Point hold a welcoming, family-like approach to living. Choosing from an array of special features and options, you'll find many ways to define your lifestyle at Pioneer Point. Call or schedule your tour online today at pioneercare.org.
Keeping you company out on the lakes, the Minnesota Twins, and News Talk 1250 AM KBRF.
Happy Monday, new week is here, and the New York Yankees are in town. This is Chris Atterbury, join me alongside Dan Gladden as the Twins and Simeon Woods Richardson welcome in the Pinstripers and 16-game winner Carlos Rodon. We're on the air at 6 o'clock with a 6:40 first pitch right here on your home for Twins baseball.
News Talk 1250 AM KBRF. Depend on it.
What's the ox say? Today on Hot Talk with the Ox, well, do we have a special legislative session to outlaw guns? Do we have a Walz re-election bid? We'll see. Then the latest on the suspect accused of murdering Charlie Kirk and all that goes along with that. Are you altering how you use social media now? Oh, and how about them bikes? But right away, test your recall of last week's shows on Heard It on Hot Talk. See you for Hot Talk with the Ox today from 2 to 5 on KBRF.
What's the Ox say?
Find out why the markets are moving. Get in-depth ag information with the Red River Farm Network on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
Good morning. Market update time here on the Red River Farm Network. I'm Tyler Donaldson. Grains starting out this week of trade a bit mixed here. Corn's down 2 to 2.5 cents. Wheat 4 to 5 cents higher. Soybeans 2.5 to 3 cents higher. Corn Belt market analyst Sam Hudson says the grains markets are still range bound while trade continues to take in last week's supply and demand report.
Well, we're still going to be digesting last week's USDA data. Obviously, still some wide indications that we could see some lower yields here as we move along the way, potentially more so for corn than even beans. But the increase in acres last week, once again, is catching a lot of attention and obviously makes a dent on that balance sheet in terms of, buffering any yield declines here moving forward. So I guess I see, generally range-bound market here still. One, variable here as we get into these early yields is keeping a close eye on just how those are trending, how variable they are, and indicating, just how well hold some of these averages, because ultimately it is going to probably weigh things down and going to take some time, to get that back out from USDA. And in the meantime, we'll have to put it all away somewhere.
Cattle markets starting the week out on the right foot. Live cattle $3 higher, feeders $5 to $6 higher, $5.60 to $6.10 higher, that is, and lean hogs are 25 to 60 cents higher as well. Hudson saying cattle markets recovering some losses from last week.
Yeah, that's right. Kind of a vacuum back up here. We've definitely, saw some capitulation there last week and some well-induced trade off the high. And at this point, I think it's easy to come in here from a knee-jerk reaction standpoint and come in stronger. Whether or not we can continue higher here into, the end of the week may depend on what those cash prices do here along the way.
Reporting agriculture's business, you're listening to the Red River Farm Network.
Fielding Questions is a podcast produced in collaboration between Ag Country Farm Credit Services and the Red River Farm Network. In the latest edition, Ag Country Succession and Retirement Planning Officer Bobby Sondriel talks about the timing necessary to prepare for a succession.
We like to say start as early as 10 years before you're actually ready to transition the reins over. That doesn't mean that there's going to be all of these action steps in year one, but at least you can lay out a plan so that you can be flexible within those 10 years as to how quickly, or if you have to pull back a little bit, you have some time to do that. 5 years at a minimum, because that's when you're going to really get into some of those tax planning things, and we need some time to put some of the tools in place. But I would say anywhere from 5 to 10 years, you should be making sure you have a good, sound plan in place to transition.
Look for the latest Fielding Questions podcast from Ag Country Farm Credit Services and the Red River Farm Network. Listen to the Dry Bean Scene every Friday here on the Red River Farm Network, brought to you by the North Harvest Bean Growers Association, Johnstown Bean Company, Gowan Company, SRS Commodities, and Heads Up Plant Protectants. We'll track this year's crop potential across the country and get industry perspectives on possible market impacts. It's the Dry Bean Scene every Friday, 12:35, right here on the Red River Farm Network.
With that morning cup of coffee and the Red River Farm Network on the radio, you're ready to take on the day. Farming and ranching is a bottom line business, and we treat it that way at the Red River Farm Network. Our team of dedicated ag journalists include Don Wick, Tyler Donaldson, and Jamie Dickerman, plus ag meteorologist Drew Lerner. Farm news, markets, and weather from the #1 rated farm radio team in the region. We're the Red River Farm Network, and we're reporting agriculture's business.
Checking quotes, December wheat Minneapolis 4.5 higher to 5.76 1/4. Chicago December wheat's up 4 cents, 5.27 3/4. KC hard red winter wheat's at 5.19 1/2, up 4 3/4 cents. December corn down 2.5 to 4.27 1/2. November soybeans are up 2 3/4 at 10.49 even. November canola in Winnipeg's $1.10 per metric ton lower, 638.60 Canadian. On the cattle side, October live cattle are 325, now 330 higher, 233.27. September feeders are 590 higher, 356.30. October hogs are up 55 cents, 97.67. This is the Red River Farm Network.
I'm Jessica at the Fergus Falls Monument Company. I'm the first person you see when you come through the door, and I also talk to customers every day on the phone. Many of them find choosing a memorial ahead of time is convenient and works best when there is time to plan and think about it. Planning ahead not only gets you the everlasting memorial of your choice, it also helps your family through the grieving process. At Fergus Falls Monument, we can help you plan ahead and choose a memorial made right here locally. Call or stop in or visit us online at foreverstonememorials.com.
Community is important, and you'll find it at Pioneer Point. Spacious apartments, thoughtfully designed for older adults, provide the best in senior living. Heated parking and elevator access makes life easy. Your neighbors at Pioneer Point hold a welcoming, family-like approach to living. Choosing from an array of special features and options, you'll find many ways to define your lifestyle at Pioneer Point. Call or schedule your tour online today at pioneercare.org.
They don't pay me enough to do this, but here we go. How does the sun listen to its favorite music? On the radio. Yeah, I kind of like that one. Catching some raise and some savings this summer by shopping FergusFallsDeals.com, where you will save up to 40% on certificates to places you're probably already shopping at. Be sure to shop the Deals on Demand category to see all the certificates you can get right on your phone. Give your bank account that radiant glow it's looking for and shop all the hot deals at FergusFallsDeals.com.
News Talk 1250 KBRF. It is 9:36 and time for two Marys and a Dave.
All right. Did we say good morning to Mary at the American Legion? Good morning, Mary. How are you today?
I'm well, thanks. How about you guys?
Well, good. It looks like another beautiful week. Summertime is still here, and I don't know what you're going to plan on serving this week, but every Monday we can't wait to find out what the Wednesday special is going to be.
Well, the Wednesday special this week is going to be homemade sloppy joes with JoJo potatoes, fresh fruit, and a treat.
Oh, that sounds good. Still a little summer there, I feel like.
Well, it's hot and humid and kind of gross out.
Yeah.
some parts of the day, so.
Oh, spoken like someone who is sick of summer, right?
Well, I don't know. I like summer, but it's just a little hot and humid.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's kind of late in the year for that, right?
I think so.
Well, anyway, that sounds like a great special for Wednesday. And dessert features for the month, too, sound really good.
We're still into a summery theme. We have key lime pie, strawberry layer cake, and white chocolate raspberry frozen sherbet. But we have also have all of our other regular desserts. So there's bound to be something there that you'll like.
Absolutely. I know carrot cake is a favorite. I know that that chocolate pie, chocolate
cream pie.
Chocolate cream pie.
The German chocolate cake just goes crazy.
Okay, well, I know those are three favorites, and those are three that you have all the time, right?
We do have them all the time.
Okay, and I think you always have about a dozen of those delicious homemade desserts to choose from. So really something for everybody. And Mary, not only the Wednesday special, but lots of good things on your menu.
We do have a nice variety on our menu. A lot of sandwiches, burgers, walleye, chicken strips, chicken drummies, different appetizers, our homemade salads. And we got soup now since it's after Labor Day, and I'm continuing to make potato salad as long as people keep enjoying it, and I can still have potatoes. So
okay.
We're keeping that going, so lots to pick from.
Well, that sounds good. It's still nice temperatures, potato salad. Well, potato salad sounds good to me year-round, but especially when somebody else makes it. Well, you guys,
the kicker.
Yeah, you guys do a great job at all the things that you do, and I know you're open Wednesday through Saturday, so run down those hours for us.
Sure. We're here Wednesday through Saturday. The dine-in is from 3 till 8 each of those days, Wednesday through Saturday. Carry-out is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 11 to 8, and on Saturday from 3 till 8. So get it to go or to stay Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday.
All right, sounds great. Well, we'll look forward to the Wednesday special, those great dessert features, and just Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday of good food, whether you take it to go or you sit around the table together. Mary, what's the number to call to get something ordered?
Give us a call at 739-4633.
All right, Mary. Have a great week.
You as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mary from the American Legion, our guest and sponsor on the show. Okay, so Sloppy Joe, JoJo potatoes, fresh fruit. Sounds pretty good to me.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, that sounds really good. And I'm always, every time we talk to her, I am not very good at getting breakfast in before I get here.
Yeah.
This is about the time I would like to eat breakfast. And this is when I'm kind of hungry. So every time we talk to Mary at this time, I'm like, oh man, I could either have breakfast or lunch right now. Either one sounds pretty darn good.
Well, anytime you talk Legion, it always sounds good.
Oh, I know, it sure does. Hey, I just I got a couple of texts from a listener during the break saying that I believe she has a sister who lives, who sent her a video from another vigil, this one in Calgary, Alberta, a vigil remembering Charlie Kirk, and she sent me a video of it. Boy, I tell you, those kinds of things are very moving, and while it's a terrible situation, I do love seeing the reaction around the world and across our country especially, and so many people standing up to remember just an extraordinary person. Pretty extraordinary for being age 31, what he has accomplished in those years. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that. He won't be silenced, that's for darn sure.
No.
I mean, we're seeing that happen already. So, and I don't know if it's today or our vice president is actually going to host his show.
Oh.
Yeah, so I found that interesting. So I'm going to try to tune in and listen to that. And I've also heard of radio stations who carried Charlie Kirk saying that they are going to they're going to continue. Obviously, he's got probably some shows that have been taped. They're going to continue with his show, and then they will have his slot that a number of different people will be featured joining there. So
it is today.
The show will go on. So J.D. Vance, Vice President J.D. Vance hosting Charlie Kirk's show today. That'll be a good one, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's lighten things up a little bit here. This is a pretty crazy story. His name is Brent Chapman. He's 34 from North Vancouver. He can see again after surgeons extracted his canine tooth.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so they took out his tooth, they flattened it, drilled a hole through it, and inserted a lens. This sounds just creepy. Inserted a lens and re-implanted it in his eye. How would you even think to do something like that? Your tooth becomes your eye, took out the canine tooth, flattened it, drilled a hole through it, inserted a lens, and implanted it in his eye. The complex procedure called osteoodonto keratoprothesis, or something like that, restored his vision that he lost at age 13 from something called Stevens-Johnson syndrome, which was triggered by ibuprofen. I've never heard of anything like that. It kind of sounded a little science fiction-y. I would say no kidding. He said this, I was like, who thought of this? This is so crazy. But anyway, Dr. Greg Maloney at Mount St. Joseph Hospital performed the two-stage surgery, first placing the modified tooth in Chapman's cheek for 3 months before implanting it in February and June. Chapman now has 20/40 or 20/30 vision. He can read, walk without a cane, and play basketball again. Dr. Maloney and I made eye contact, and he said it was very emotional. I hadn't really made eye contact with anyone in 20 years, and now he can. Isn't that a wild story?
Yeah.
Sometimes you think of some of the, who thinks of that? who thinks, gosh, let's take out his tooth, flatten it out, didn't know you could do that, drill a hole in it, put a lens in. I don't get it.
I don't either, but obviously it worked.
But it worked. Yeah, that's great. This is encouraging that American adults are demonstrating better civics knowledge this year, with 70% correctly naming all 3 government branches, compared to 65% in 2024. And if you could see Dave right now, it's too bad he's not on camera because he's holding his head in his hands.
70% can come up with the 3.
70% can.
Well,
now.
that means 30% can't.
Right, exactly. Nearly 4 in 5 respondents identified freedom of speech as the First Amendment right, up from 74% last year. People can't cherish, safeguard, or exercise their constitutionally protected rights unless they know that they actually have them. Anyway, it looks like there is a little bright ray of hope here that the numbers are increasing in civics.
Yeah.
I don't know. So where do we stand on civics in school? Do you even know? I mean, do your kids, do they have civics?
I should ask them if they've got that. I mean, I had it. We called it current events, I think is what we called it my senior year.
Right.
Taught by the legendary Hal Johnson in his very first year being a teacher. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember it was always kind of fun. They did this Jeopardy thing, and it was Nick Lang and myself versus the rest of the class.
Of course, you were a brainiac back then too.
Well, yeah. Plus, I mean, Nick was straight A student. He went to West Point, and I think he's a doctor. So he's
had a good partner.
Yeah, Nick was pretty smart, or is pretty smart. So yeah, it was him and I versus
Hal
the
Johnson.
rest.
That's a name I haven't heard for a while. Everyone loved him, didn't they?
Yep. And my senior year was because he was he was a substitute teacher for a couple of years, so we kind of knew him a little bit. And then our senior year, he was his first year as an actual teacher.
Well, I remember him being a favorite teacher. Everybody just loved him. So anyway, that's a bit of a bright spot. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's getting better. People actually know a little bit more about, the United States of America.
Yeah, know your rights.
Yeah.
And know that one of my favorite things about the First Amendment that people get wrong is you have the right to say, what you want, but you don't have the right to be heard.
Yeah.
You can, say it, but doesn't mean that people need to listen to you.
Right, exactly. Well, here's a good story in the news. I mean, in fact, I listen to a couple of different radio shows. I really try to tune around when I'm not here. And I found it interesting, and these happen to both be very conservative radio shows. But in both of them, the host said, over the weekend, I couldn't watch, I couldn't listen, I couldn't hear any more about everything that's been going on, since last Wednesday and Charlie Kirk's death. And they just said they just needed to just completely unplug. They didn't look at their phone, they didn't turn the TV on, they didn't turn the radio on, they just were by themselves. And I think sometimes that's what people need to do you just need to get away from all the noise. And there's a lot of noise out there right now.
A lot of noise.
Yeah. But anyway, here's a good story. And so maybe we need a little bit more of this. 11-year-old Axton Bird of Midvale received a replacement electric wheelchair on September 9th, 1 week after thieves stole his original chair.
Who steals a wheelchair?
I don't know. Anyway, the boy lives with a rare genetic condition causing limited joint movement and weakened muscles. His father said that the family had hit rock bottom after the theft. It's just so hard to see that someone could take a child's independence away. Strangers rallied to help after hearing about the incident. There was someone, his name is Mike Felice, from Disabled Outdoorsman, Utah, partnered with Compassion Mobility to provide the brand new wheelchair for this young man. Jason expressed gratitude, saying, to watch our son have the independence and mobility that he deserves and have such a really awesome and cool wheelchair that he can grow into and have for many years to come, said it means the world to us and our family. So that was, there's your feel-good story, I guess, of it, right? I love when a story, that's the one time that social media really works and works well to help people out in a situation like that. You know, those stories get out there so quickly, and here's a couple of companies that came to their aid, and, you know, because I'm guessing a wheelchair like that is many tens of thousands of dollars probably. Yeah, all right. So, okay, here is a story about a family. They received a $5,000 ER bill despite their son never actually even seeing the doctor. How'd you like to get that bill? His name is Nathan. Brought his 11-year-old son to Good Samaritan Emergency Room in San Jose, California, after the boy developed an unusual rash in May. The family gave this young boy Benadryl, and then they decided, gosh, I think we should take him in. So said he's never had anything like this before, so this was new to us as parents, said his dad. While waiting, Ian's condition improved and the family attempted to leave the ER. A staff member told them, wait, you can't just go. A triage nurse provided written instructions to continue Benadryl treatment, and the family left. My son was never even seen by the doctor, but they received a bill for over $5,000. And the diagnosis, gosh, he's got a rash. Give him some Benadryl, which of course is over the counter. Oh, maybe not anymore. Maybe you can't buy Benadryl over the counter anymore. I think it's behind locked doors these days. Anyway, however, being called out by a local news station, the hospital subsequently wrote off the entire bill for the family. Well, oh my goodness. Can you imagine?
Yeah, but I mean, how many other people got that bill and went, oh, I guess I got to pay?
Do you know what? That is something, and I'm not talking about our local hospital and clinic at all, but you really do have to take a look at those bills that come in, because not only, they're difficult to read, and if you have a question about them, you should really call, because if there's something on there that you don't understand, and it comes with a $1,000 charge or a $50 charge or whatever the charge is, and you don't understand it, you need to call and find out.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think sometimes on purpose it's hard to read, and you know, and they have technical names for all these things, and sometimes you get charged for some really, really crazy things. I heard somebody tell the story about going in for just a routine physical, and I can't remember what they called it, but on the bill it called something about personal analysis, and there was some. It was a bigger name than that, and so they wondered, and the charge was like $150. So they thought, well, what was that? So they called in. Turns out, when the doctor came into the room and said, "So, how have you been feeling?" And that's what they were charged for.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So, if you've got questions, ask the questions. Call the billing department and say, "What is this?" This, you know, didn't happen locally, but it's kind of food for thought. If there's something on your bill, and this is not only at the clinic, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, if you see something on a bill that you get from your insurance provider or whomever, or your American Express bill, and you think, gosh, I don't think what's that? You got to call, you got to find out, because if you just go ahead and pay, wow. Anyway, because sometimes there are mistakes that are made, and sometimes there's crazy things like your personal physical analysis that you got charged $150 for because they said, "How have you been feeling?" Wow. All right. We probably don't have enough time to bring in Derek, but
Oh, he's flipping around.
Is he? Okay. All right. Here's how the headline reads. Gen Zers prefer vanilla and strawberry scents over traditional fragrances. So,
what kind
vanilla,
of perfume do you like?
Vanilla, strawberry.
I gotta say, I do love a good vanilla.
Okay, there you go.
There's something about it where vanilla works really well. I'm not so sure about strawberry.
I'm with you.
Strawberry's a good smell, but I don't know if I'd go over some. I also have to say I love a good, in terms of like air fresheners, like a good fresh linen smell.
This is so funny. The very next sentence. You know what else they like? The clean fragrance, which is like clean, some of it call it clean linen, or fresh linen, clean laundry. Oh boy, you are right here. Vanilla and clean laundry.
They're really
clean
good.
Linen. Yeah, I'm with you on actually both of those.
I think some flowery scents can be a little too much on the nose.
Yeah, and they don't really smell like what they're supposed to smell like. They're just really sweet and yucky.
No, I think my car air freshener right now is a magnolia, and that one's all right. But
okay,
I'd say vanilla and fresh linen are the way to go.
Okay, all right. Well, spoken. But the young guy on the team says go with vanilla and fresh linen. I think those are two good scents. All right. He just confirmed the whole story. Yep. All right.
Thanks, Derek.
Thanks, Derek. Okay, it is coming up on 10 o'clock. That is going to wrap it up. Oh, vanilla and fresh linen. I like both those.
I can do a little vanilla if it's overpowering vanilla.
Yeah, then it gets too sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Our show today and every day brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Monument Company. Have a great day.
What's the ox say?
Today on Hot Talk with the Ox, well, do we have a special legislative session to outlaw guns?